Man, just when you thought we had another comedian that wasn't going to bend the knee to the woke mob of fake outrage. Well, last week, comedian David Lucas made a spicy joke in response to a black heckler at one of his comedy shows. He then went on the traditional struggle session tour where he had to talk to other black people who told him he wasn't black enough and that he wasn't allowed to criticize black people or make jokes at black people's expense. And today he caved and issued a groveling apology. All day he's been in his own replies trying to pretend like it isn't an apology, but it absolutely is. Now, his reasoning is odd, but understandable. Apparently, people were threatening his mother, which to me says more about the fragility of those doing that than the joke itself. But just in case you need, just in case you want to know where I stand about jokes, about really. By the way, if you enjoy my videos, please do leave a like on this video. And if you haven't yet, please follow or subscribe down below. It matters a ton. Wherever you're watching my videos, I would greatly appreciate it. So, of course, David Lucas has said he wouldn't apologize. I'm not going to apologize, he said. I'm not going to apologize for my joke, which was, spicy. I'm not going to pretend like it was not spicy. Essentially, a heckler in the crowd was being a douchebag, and he replied something along the lines of, like, now my white fans here are going to see why what happened to George Floyd happened to George Floyd. Essentially, pretty spicy, but, it's a joke. I don't care. You can be offended by it, but it doesn't make it not a joke. Now, the way the community responded, the black community, was to threaten his mother's life, apparently, to threaten his life, apparently. And it's curious to me, if you don't like spicy comments or spicy commentary, well, this is probably going to make you pretty upset. The black community has been trying to ruin this dude's life over a joke, right? Having an absolute meltdown over a joke. We're going to go to your mom's house. We're going to get your mom, do this and that, the other thing, whatever. They care more about a joke than the fact that, according to a new report as of yesterday, according to Brady United Against Bad Behaviors with Weapons, our new study finds despite making up just 14% of the U.S. population, black Americans account for 60% of all firearm incidents each year. I think that's up from, I mean, are you kidding me? If you care that much about black people, why aren't you looking at the number one threat to black people's existence, and that's other black people, according to this statistic? A well-known hate statistic, right? It's Black History Month. You want to talk about things that are good for the black community? Talk about their issues with weapons. How about what happened at the Kansas City celebration parade yesterday, where 3 young black youths who were probably going to be doctors and never did anything wrong in their life fired indiscriminately into a crowd over a personal beef, injuring 20+ people. Okay? They're not worried about that as a community. They're worried about David Lucas's joke. And it offends black people to talk about this kind of thing. And I'm not saying white people or any other race is perfect. Believe me. Okay? You want to look at the rates of people who get arrested for CP and things like that. There's mostly white people. Okay? You want each, group of people has their thing, but this particular statistic in Black History Month should probably be a little more on their mind than what's going on with a joke. You want to look at this statistic? How about this statistic? David Lucas, perhaps you should talk about this. The media can gaslight blacks and pretend that they care about black teens as much as they want, but we all know it's a lie. There's a problem with young black males being hunted, but not by cops, it's by each other. There's a serious culture problem, and the same virtue signaling news organizations and politicians that try to create racial division by hyper-focusing on police incidents, push music, and celebrate songs that encourage young black teens to join gangs, commit crimes, and end each other. How about this one? People who lost their lives to firearms rates by race. Now, this is annual firearm passings among men per 100,000. Okay? Per 100,000, how many people are losing their lives to firearms? Okay? Missouri, 2.7 white, black, 60. Michigan, 1.5 white, 50 black. Look at Wisconsin, less than 1 per 100,000 and 34 in the black community. You want to talk about stuff that matters? You want to talk about stuff that matters? Talk about black people removing other black people from the planet at an insanely high rate. All right? That's, if you want to worry about jokes, then you don't actually care about the black community. And you know, David, I bet you'll watch this video. I think that you're probably out there because you're out there responding to people. That's how I would respond to it. They don't actually care about black folks, dude. They're just getting you back in line, making you apologize. Look what they did again. I forget his name. I don't know. He's a black food critic, wildly popular. They tried to cancel dude because he had bad service at an Atlanta restaurant, and they said he wasn't allowed to criticize him because it was black owned. What? I don't know if you people have heard of this saying before, but have you ever heard of the crabs in a bucket thing? You know, like they don't have to put lids on buckets of crabs because the other crabs will always pull an escaping crab back down inside of it. I'm not saying that's for sure what's happening here, but I think when you have situations where somebody makes a joke or whatever, and then the community says, hey man, get back in line. You're one of us. You aren't allowed to make this joke. Didn't you know that you're black? And then if you look at all the comments, it's black people calling him not black. You go look at his interview, it's full of people on YouTube, other black people calling him an Oreo and all this kind of stuff. Why? Don't you think that policing your own, social groups is a good thing?
Hi, this is comedian David Lucas. You know me from Kill Tony and other various roast shows. I'm an edgy, push the boundary comedian, and my job as a comedian is to bring humor in dire situations. With that being said, there's a clip that is circulating around social media, and since that clip has came out, I have spoken to a lot of George Floyd's family. I spoke to Cal Wayne, Trader Truth, Steven Jackson, and my intention was to never cause harm to his family or make them revisit a moment that happened a few years ago. I'm a father, so I get it. I understand how his kids feel. I've spoken to his whole family.
Here's how I know it's BS. Here's how I know that they beat him down and got him back in line, David. If you had to apologize, you spoke directly to him. You apologized directly. You didn't need to upload this video. He's all over in the replies trying to say this wasn't an apology. Oh, it wasn't an apology. I apologize to the family, but not about the joke. Then why'd you upload it? You talked directly to the family, right? You talked directly to the family, and you apologize to them, I suspect, right? Directly. So why upload the video to the internet? It's because someone told you to do that. Now, I understand people start threatening your wife, your mom, or whatever the case is. Should have wanted, apparently, my mom is too old to be brought into this. So allegedly, the apology was to his brother and child. I said I'd apologize to kids and family, even though he says I never apologized for my joke at all. They threatened his mom, which again, this is a dude, I've never followed and unfollowed someone so quickly. I get it. Hey, if he thought there were credible threats to his family and mother, okay. I'm not gonna say let something bad happen to your family over a joke. And not everyone's built for that kind of heat. And ultimately, though, what David Lucas fell for is fake outrage, right? I bet you David Lucas could make all the jokes about white people he wants, and white people wouldn't be doing this, or Asian people wouldn't be doing this. I suppose if he made fun of Taylor Swift, he might have to face the same kind of backlash. This was a moment where they're like, get back in line. You're not allowed to criticize our community. You aren't allowed to make jokes at our people's expenses. I mean, look at how Hannibal Buress was treated when he first outed Bill Cosby. Apparently, all these people knew about it for years and they shut up about it. I wonder why that was. And again, I'm not saying there aren't bad white people. There are plenty. In fact, as a number, there's probably more in total. Okay? And there's bad Asian people and there's bad whatever. There's bad people all around. It has nothing to do with your skin color. But the fact that he got beat down and had to issue this apology is sad. I thought we had another bold comedian that would not bend the knee and not apologize. I guess it's a lot more difficult to do when you don't have Dave Chappelle money. I will acknowledge that when you're still on the come up. I'll acknowledge that. But just as predictably, he apologized and they won't. These people aren't going to, as they would say, like frick with him anyway. They're always going to hate him for this joke. The people he's apologizing to, they're not going to forgive him. They're still going to call him white. They're going to make fun of his blackness. So he gained nothing by apologizing outside of losing the new fans he had as being a comedian who is willing to stand up for his craft. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you have a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.